Hello.
I will wait for just 1 minute.
Hello again.
Just 1 minute. Yes,
so please
just 1
wait.
minute. I will resume the session.
Yes. I would like to tell you and everybody that our form will be delivered right now. The link to the form will be delivered for our data upcoming meeting.
Okay, I think this is okay.
No yet, wait. The attendance form is in the chat box.
I can't hear you.
The session hasn't started yet.
How long is the session, please?
Does anyone ask any questions?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Heba.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted, so I was talking to myself. Okay, so we started with designing the video, and to remind you, this was our task or the main question for today. How can Flipping Classroom make Socratic Seminars easier to use and to fix all the challenges that you have spoken about? We will design the video, and any video must have learning objectives like your lesson plan that you do in class. You will introduce the vocabulary, and today I'm not going to speak about vocabulary, but simply, and maybe I will show you another video about this, you can include examples and pictures. And what is better is to also speak about the examples extracted from the reading text. This is about vocabulary. Of course, you will recognize the main idea, the low level of Bloom, specific details. Also, you can help students to how to analyze and evaluate the text. You are not going to do it for them. You will show them how to do it. And number 5, enhance the skill of questioning. And what I mean by questioning, how can I make students ask and answer questions? Why number five is the most important one? Who remembers? Number 5, we will get the main idea, the specific details. We will help them to analyze and evaluate. But what's most important in the video, we will teach them how to ask and answer questioning. Perfect, Ms. Shaimaa Fathi, because this is essential for Socratic seminars. Perfect. So, Ms. Amani, this is correct, critical thinking, but for the Socratic seminar, this is the main focus. If you try to introduce a text, even if it's on a video, try to make them predict what they are going to speak about or guess the topic. Of course, you know these type of language, and when you start, you will ask a question, wait for the answer. Have you seen these before? Do you know what are they? Do you know the full form of these words? So they will give you the answer. We are not going to work on this today, tomorrow, laughing a lot, thanks, please, before, for your information, and for the emoticons, happy and in love. Then you will ask students, even if it's in a video, where can you find this type of language? Have you ever used this language or when? And you will give the picture of a girl texting her friend. So the topic today is messaging language. So for today, then you will introduce the text. The new words are highlighted in a different color, but again, I'm not going to speak about how to introduce vocabulary. What is the task at the moment? And this will be done for you now, is how to help students ask a question in each of Bloom's taxonomy. So to do this together, I will give you a minute to read the text. So we have a moment of silence. Do you need one more minute?
Look at the chat.
Yes, but nobody, sorry, what's your point here? What you asked to do? I think, Miss Moonlight, you have a problem in your mic. The task is just to read the text. Mr. Ahmed said, okay. Type of okay if you want me to resume. Finished, perfect. Okay. So this is the task. Unfortunately, you will do it by yourself because it's a video and there is no interaction with the learners, but we will know how this will be used afterwards. For the remembering level, I will provide the question because it was cut from the text. What does ASAP stand for? Don't worry, this is not in the text. I excluded it. Okay, understand, which also includes the main idea and the specific details. Who can ask a question at the understand level about that text? Try it. The understanding level, it's not difficult at all. What is the main idea of the text? Yes, it works. Okay. Why do many people use messaging language? This has been stated directly in the text. And also I like the question from Mr. Ahmed Hawatir, what is the main idea? Why do you use the method language? Okay, stop. Apply, and at the apply level, you use background knowledge and apply it to the text. You get the knowledge from the text in a new situation or a similar situation in life. Give examples of messaging language that you use for apply. Perfect.
Abbreviation.
Have you ever met a person who uses too much messages? How is his or her English? And my question here, because you know that in the text they say sometimes the messaging language affects the way you learn English. So we would like you to find example in life, and it's not different a lot from the question provided by Ms. Wafa Mahmoud. Okay, perfect. Analyze, break the text into pieces, and get the pieces together to answer the question. Okay, I just want one question from each level. A question of analysis, how to break the text into pieces. What is the cons and pros? Perfect, Miss Dalia, and to my surprise, it is the same question that I asked. That's what they said. What are the pros and cons of messaging language? This is Miss Dalia Sadiq question. Evaluation, give your opinion, what's good, what's bad, what's suitable, what's not suitable. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Dr. Amani? I think
Hello?
I have been muted.
Hello?
Have I been muted?
No, we can hear you, Dr. Heba.
Yes, because I received a yes, okay. So evaluation question. Mr. Ahmed Dessouki, do you think it's suitable in informal and informal? Perfect. Let me see my question. Will you use messaging language more or less in the future, and why? Create, Give me a new idea. Ask about a new idea. Why do you think, what messaging is important? Yes. Can you form other? Okay, perfect. My question is a little difficult. How can messaging language be effective in learning English? Okay, so again, in the video, we introduced the text and we developed or introduced the strategy of questioning according to Bloom's taxonomy. Of course, in the video, you will explain what Bloom's taxonomy is. Then, after the video and you share it, students have two tasks. I like to remind you, we haven't started the seminar yet. Just the students finished the video. Home assignment 1, you have a pair work through emails. An email with a list of pairs. So you divide your students into pairs and you give them an article on question starters for Bloom's taxonomy. Do you know what are the question starters? Or the question stems? Okay. Oh, we make a dictionary for these messages? I don't know what, yes, maybe you are still working on the questions. So for this task, you have a list of pairs. For example, Sarah and Mona work together. Sarah prepares a list of questions, 6 questions at different levels of Bloom. Mona prepares the same list, another list of 6 questions for Bloom, like what we have did. And then they send each other emails. Each one answers the email of the other and send it back and send it to the teacher. The teacher provides feedback. So now you have used the video interactively. Again, you have Sarah and Mona. They were put together in the teacher's list. Sarah prepares the 6 questions of Bloom's taxonomy. Mona prepares another list of questions for Bloom's taxonomy, and they do it together. They exchange, so each one answers the list of the other. The teacher now can assess the students. The teacher knows that they have watched the video and they know about the task. Another one for comments. Discussion question. This is what you will tell them at the end of the video. Are you for or against messaging language? Give a reason. Please write a comment and reply at least to one of your colleagues. So now the students will use the comment section of YouTube. Each one will answer this question. This is part 1, and part 2, they will provide the answer. Do you find now they are ready for the Socratic seminar or not? Yes or no? Okay, so if you understand the home assignment, I'd like anybody of you to speak and tell me how this will help students for the Socratic seminar. Who's ready to talk? Let me check. No raising hands. Miss Wafa Mahmoud, okay? Miss Wafa, hello? I think maybe she raised her hand. Ms. Dalia? Ms. Dalia would like to speak again? The question again, how can the two assignments and the video prepare the students for the Socratic seminar? Very difficult? Okay, so students have got a step-by-step training on how to ask and answer higher level questions. The first step is that you explained Bloom's taxonomy and give example at each level. Number two, you provided a question starter. A question starter list is an examples of the questions at each level. Unfortunately, it's a big list, so it doesn't fit in a PowerPoint presentation. Students exchange emails asking and answer questions, and then they exchange and share opinions on YouTube comment section. So they practiced questioning in different contexts. This was the answer for my question. Move back to the Socratic seminar. Let me check. What have I told you about Socratic seminar? Use a chat box, because I didn't tell you everything about it. I just told you the definition. Use just a very few words of what I used about Socratic seminars. It's just in the chat. I don't want somebody to share opinion. It's just in the chat. What do you remember about Socratic seminars? A word with D. Discuss ideas in group. Perfect. What else do they do? They ask each other questions. Perfect. So read a book or a text and try to discuss and share ideas. Do tasks in class. Perfect, Dr. Amani. So Socratic seminar, the two circles are the format. I have another message. I'd like to read it. Ask and answer. Perfect. So again, in the Socratic seminar, what I haven't told you, it has two circles of seats. So students sit down. They don't stand up. They must sit down because it will take time. The smaller circle are called speakers. So these are the ones who will participate and speak in the seminar. Those will ask and answer questions. And the big circle are observers. The lesson and the take notes. Again, you have two circles, speakers inside, observers outside. Speakers discuss ideas, ask and answer questions, observers listen and take notes. So now we would like to know, how can speakers speak and what observers will observe? So this is the format of the Socratic seminars. There are some tasks that both of them will do it, and other tasks will be done only for each speakers. Miss Amani said the onion ring, but it's not the onion ring. So speakers and the observers, both of them, they watch the video, they read the text analytically to generate questions. Again, both of them, this is what we did till this moment. We have finished this step one, watching the video, reading the text, asking and answering questions. For the speakers, what do? They ask and answer questions, they generate ideas, They share opinion with evidence. So if you say it's right or it's wrong, you must tell why. They revisit the text. And I mean by revisit the text, it's not a test of memory. So they can have the book or the text with them, but not the questions. So again, this is the task of the speakers. They ask and answer, generate ideas, and visit the text several times. What do observers do? And this is very important because your students will think that they have no task to do. So they must know about the role very well. They listen and take notes. After the speakers finish, they agree or disagree with the speakers. So they will speak at the end and say, I agree with Sarah because I disagree with Mona because. They give feedback, and here I mean by giving feedback, they say what do they like and what do they do not like. But if there is something negative happens from one of the students, they don't name it. So again, speakers ask, share ideas, observers take notes, agree with disagree. After the seminar, there is reflective writing, and I will provide you with a list of questions, how to reflect on the seminar after it finishes. And then they switch roles. So observers become speakers, and then speakers become observers. Of course, this will never be in one class. Maybe you will need another class. The rules, of course, you know the classroom rules. And there is rules for a Socratic seminar that students must know about. Several possible answers. So it's an opinion session. Don't say this is right or this is wrong. Listen to what others say because you will build on their ideas. Respect if you agree or disagree. Speak at least twice. So each speaker must speak twice or 3 times. Don't raise a hand, but speak when possible. And this is very important because in normal conversation, you don't raise your hand. You speak when you find it's your turn to speak or you have something constructive to say. It builds on the ideas of each other. It's okay to change your mind. And for the last point, it's important because it's a dialogue, not a debate. So we don't oppose each other to tell what's right in the end. What's most important to get more ideas, to speak, generate ideas, enrich discussion, not to debate. So change your mind and tell me why. Types of the questions. The opening question, it must be interesting, engaging, and it leads to more questions. The guiding question, to deepen understanding means it's an analytical question. It depends on critical analysis to reach the higher levels of Bloom. And to elaborate responses means if you're a student or one of the students give a short answer, you can give another question to help them get more ideas. And at the end of the closing, you summarize what happens and connect it with your personal lives. So again, these are the 3 types. Engage learners at the beginning, guide them to analyze and evaluate, then they summarize and connect to their lives. These are the discussion stems because we have another problem that you didn't say about the challenges. Speaking skills, poor speaking skills. So when you give students some stems to express their ideas, they will be more encouraged because it will help them to organize their thinking and it will give them the confidence to say something. This is the text again. So, can you prepare a list of Socratic questions? I don't know if this task will be, let me say, appropriate for Zoom. Do you remember the first, oh, I revealed it, sorry. Do you remember the discussion questions in the chat? I will write it again. Are you for or against messaging This was the opening question. I wrote it in the chat. Are you for or against messaging language? So this will be a good start for the discussion. Each student will speak about their own opinion. So of course, it's very hard to perform a full seminar. I'd like just to have the idea from one teacher, please. Just one speaker. Are you for or against messaging language? Tell me why. Don't worry, Dr. Amani, if we come back, I will have just a very few minutes to finish. But it's necessary to wrap up what I said. I don't like people to fall the track of what has been done during the session. So who is ready to provide the answer? Can you help me, Dr. Amani? Dr. Amani?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, Dr.
Yes,
Heba.
please help me. Provide an answer. Anything that comes to your mind.
Reading some questions.
Are you for or against messaging language and why?
I'm for because it helps me to save time. It's much more summarized. It gives me more information and some and less words. Okay.
So it gives you more information?
Yes.
Okay.
And little words.
So if we build a Socratic seminar, we will say, how can it give you more information? And she will provide the answer, or another speaker provides the answer.
Okay, the answer will be provided through the messaging language.
So, for example, Ms. Dalia provided another opinion. I'm against it because we have to learn English well. So maybe I'm showing you how to do the seminar. So maybe we will take this statement and ask another question like, how bad will it affect learning English? So you build a question on another one. It focuses on writing skill only. Okay, so you can build on these ideas together. You can get a question and build another question on it. I will show you my examples. Pros and cons. Give example. So when you say an opinion, you give an example. What is the author's attitude? So you must use the text. Was the author for or against? And tell me why. What would happen if someone stopped using messaging language? And what would happen if every language learner used the messaging language? So I raised two assumptions. What if questions are very constructive for a Socratic seminar. Do you use messaging language? So all these are Socratic and they can be exchanged among different learners. So after the seminar, you use reflective journal. Reflective journal, when we say a reflection journal, it means it's a free writing tool. Don't care about spelling, grammar, or punctuation. The most important thing for a journal is the ideas. And the journal here, it assesses reading comprehension. It assesses what have you learned from the seminar and from the text. So it's good for writing fluency, not accuracy. Maybe you will fix accuracy with another task. It's good for reading comprehension. It summarizes learning and it develops the thinking. Because in the journal, you will tell how have you changed your mind before and after the seminar. Okay. So the reflective questions, or how can you use them? Like, how do you feel about the seminar? If you change your opinion, what to change it? This is a perfect question, the purple one. What was the best part, the worst part? What's your overall opinion? What opinion do you agree or disagree with from the speakers? What was the most interesting question? What was the most interesting idea to be shared? What was the best thing you observed? And the best thing you observed, maybe you observe question number 8. Maybe you observe the interaction. You observe the respect. You observe eye contact, good communication. The most troubling thing you observed, maybe you'll speak about disrespect, underestimation, mocking others, lack of participation. It's not only about the ideas. What do you think should be done differently? What are your suggestions? So this is a reflective journal. Also, it can be handed to the teacher or performed online.
Okay, Dr.
So,
Heba,
yes.
we will have to leave now, okay, and come back.
Please, I'd like to say, please come back. I have just 5 minutes and leave, but it's necessary to come back.